What renovations are going to get you the most bang for your buck on your home here in Vancouver and Camas, Washington? That's what we're talking about today. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm thankful you're here today because we're talking about what renovations are going to get you the best ROI when you go to sell your home here in Clark County, Washington. I've got a list for y'all today. I have 10 on the list, and these are specific to the area that we live in, what I see in the real estate market here, what I find buyers are willing to pay more money for. So if you're thinking about selling your home, soon or a couple years down the line, you might want to start thinking about doing these things. I'm also going to add in at the end a couple things that I don't think you should do to your home because they might detract from your home's value. So stay tuned for those as well. If you're new here, we thank you so much for watching the channel. Please feel free to subscribe. We post a new video every single week. And we also send out an awesome email called Weekend Happenings with Hannah. We send it out every single week. Fun things happening in the area, open houses, new listings, just for you. The first thing you should focus on in terms of ROI, enhancing your home's value, especially right before you go to list your home, is the curb appeal. This is the very first thing buyers are going to see both online in the photos and when they actually come to the home. And that first impression matters. First impressions are everything when you sell your home. So if your home has really old paint, really old siding, you're going to want to fix that. You're going to want to get a repaint. Paint in a color that is, somewhat on trend for today. Maybe not something that's going to go out of style in a year or two, but something that people love. Laying fresh bark dust is a major life hack. It's super cost effective and it literally makes your lawn look so fresh. Obviously, mow your yard, cut your bushes. If you don't want to do it yourself, hire a landscaper. When we list clients' homes, we have landscaper connections for them. Put some potted plants on the front porch. If you have a front porch, we usually put 2 right in front of the door. Depending on the colors of the home, we try and style it appropriately in some nice pots, and we put a wreath on the door. A wreath is amazing. Wreaths are not just for the holiday season. We have all types of wreaths in our light staging inventory, and it helps it pop from the street. It really does. And then my last 2 things I would do for curb appeal, again, they're simple, they're really cost effective, are change out the house numbers. We'll put a photo over top of me here somewhere of the trendy house numbers that people put on their homes these days, and I'm telling you, it makes a significant difference. If you have a 90s or early 2000s home, which it's kind of likely you might have that here in Clark County because we got a lot of those homes, switch out those old brass cursive-y looking numbers for the straight line ones, the black or the silver that people really like these days. It makes a big difference. And then the other thing is switch out your light fixtures. Again, if you have early 2000s or 90s light fixtures or even 80s light fixtures, they're really dating the home from the outside. So swap those out at Home Depot. That's going to be a couple $100s maximum if you get something basic, and it will make a huge difference. The second thing you might consider adding to your home to add some value is to add some stone on the front of a home. I sell a lot of new construction. By the way, if you're interested in purchasing new construction, reach out to us. We work with all the builders. We know all the inventory very well. We know who's who does what. We know how to negotiate. But stone is a line item on new construction homes that costs more, but it really adds to the curb appeal. Generally speaking, if I drive around and I look at homes, if the house has some stone on the front, like El Dorado stone, the stacked skinny ones, then it's usually a nicer home inside. It's an indicator of that, or at least it appears so from the curb. So consider adding some of that to the front of your home. The third tip for you to get the best ROI on your investment when you go to sell your home here in Clark County is to add some sort of outdoor living space or like a covered patio, a covered deck. If you don't already have this, so many buyers are looking for this. Everyone wants this. Why wouldn't they? This is a beautiful place to be out in 3 out of the 4 seasons of the year, and we want to be protected from the sun, we want to be protected from the rain. People love when there's a really nice outdoor living area that has some recessed lights, maybe it has tongue and groove, perhaps it has built-in speakers. That's really fancy, but you could have, a fence and deck company come out and build you a basic awning and it would make a significant difference. The 4th best ROI is a new garage door. If you have an older home, especially like a way older home, maybe 70s or 80s or before that, you should really switch out your garage door. Your garage door is already probably wood and really heavy, and it might need switching anyways. Switch it out to one that's a little bit more modern. I really like the look of the black and the brown ones with like the pole handles in the middle. Obviously it depends on the aesthetics of your home, but it just shows really well on the front of the house. If you have a 90s house, your garage is probably still okay looking, it's modern enough, but you could modernize it even more and really stand out from the neighborhood. My fifth thing on best ROI list is new light fixtures, new paint, and new floors. I kind of lumped that all together. I don't know, it's like the basic stuff we do in a lot of our listings. If you can only do 2 of those things, do new paint and new light fixtures. New paint inside makes a huge difference. Painting is expensive nowadays if you go with a professional painter. Whole house paint, depending on how big it is, can be $10,000 to $30,000+, but it's a refresh. If you are gonna live in your home and you want nice paint and you want that ROI to come back to you when you sell too, just repaint it now while you live in it. It's great. Repaint it something neutral if you're okay with it, and that's what's gonna show best when you go to sell the home. New light fixtures also is a big one, especially if you have 80s, 90s, early 2000s homes. Those light fixtures are dated and they show when you walk in. Oh my gosh, I've been in so many homes where you go in, it's an 80s house, it's got those brassy fixtures that are hanging down. If you switch those out with even the most basic of light fixtures from Home Depot, it's gonna make a big difference. Also, on the note of lighting, you can add recessed lighting to places in your home that don't already have lights. A lot of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s homes we help clients buy and sell, they only have lamp switches, and people want natural light in a home these days. That's one of the top requests I get. It's really kind of difficult to add more windows and cut it into the side of your home, but it's a lot less difficult to go add some recessed lighting. For flooring, if you have really old carpet, obviously that's an easy one to replace. If you're gonna continue to live in the home for a while, it's probably gonna get dirty by the time you end up selling the house, so maybe don't replace it quite yet. But if you have, say, an old rolled vinyl floor, a lot of people have that in their kitchen sometimes, but also their laundry room and the bathrooms, that can make a big difference to replace. So replace that with like a luxury vinyl plank. That's a good affordable product. You could do an engineered hardwood if you want to get fancy with it, but that will be more expensive. Sixth thing on my list is a basic kitchen renovation. Now when I say kitchen renovation, I'm not talking the fanciest marble countertops you can find, the best appliance package, the most custom cabinets ever. I'm talking a basic kitchen renovation. If you have a kitchen that is really outdated, obviously it depends on what you're working with, but having them professionally painted, not yourself, professionally painted cabinets makes a huge difference. That can be good. You can add new hardware to the cabinets, you could replace the countertops, you could switch out the floors. I think it's good to maybe consult a designer for something that big. My mother was an interior designer, and this is a lot of what she did, and she did some really amazing projects. She did a lot of refreshes where they didn't rip out everything, they worked with what they had, and it turned out really nicely. Seventh thing on my list is to refinish your hardwood floors. If you have genuine hardwood floors in your home and the home is 20 to 30-ish years old or more, then they might be due for a refinish. Honestly, if you have genuine hardwood floors in your home is probably not much newer than that, because we don't really do real hardwood floors in brand new homes. The 90s and the early 2000s are known for that light oak color, maybe like honey oak, more the orange one, and people don't love that color these days, so picking a different stain is really helpful. Maybe something a little bit darker. If you have a really old home, maybe something that was built in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, or prior to that, you probably also have real hardwood floors, and they likely just need to be refinished to really show well. So refinish those hardwood floors. My eighth suggestion for you, and this is only for the folks that have really old homes, is to add hardy plank siding to the outside of your house. If your house was built, I don't know, approximately 1990, 1980-ish and after, then you probably already have hardy plank siding on your home, as long as it's, a decently priced home, not like an entry-level one. But if your home was built before that, you might have a different type of siding. You might have T111, you might have cedar siding, you might have vinyl siding, you might have something else weird from way, way long ago. Hardy plank siding definitely shows the best here. It looks the most modern, and it is by far the most quality. It will last you 40 plus years if you take care of it. So it is an investment for the long term, and it does make a very significant difference. My 9th suggestion for you is to smart home set up your home. So you could do all the different systems these days. There's so many brands out there. There's Ring and Arlo, and I don't even know. There's so many out there. But what I see people usually do is the doorbell camera, of course. Honestly, most folks have those these days. And then a smart lock on the front door where you can put in a code, or you can use your phone, or you can use your palm. Just depends on which kind you get. And with all of those things together, as long as they all talk to each other, that does add a lot of value to the home, and buyers care about that these days. So adding smart features to your home is a great thing to do. My 10th suggestion for you, I don't know why I left this one for last because it's really, really a high need and want for folks these days, is to add some sort of living on the main ability. Now, I realize this is not possible for every home. It really depends on the layout and what you're already working with. But if you have a home right now that only has a half bathroom on the main floor, and you can somehow add a full bathroom and then also have a spot where someone could sleep, usually like an office type space or a den, this is an amazing thing to add. I cannot tell you how many clients I have as buyers who need some sort of master on the main or main level living situation for either themselves as they get older, or maybe their parents as they're aging, or maybe they have, you know, a disabled family member who they want to come live with them. It is such a need, and it's only going to become more of a need going forward because the population is aging. So if you can add that full bathroom on the main floor and you can have some sort of living situation on the main floor, it is going to be awesome for your resale value. So those were my 10 suggestions for where you can add value to the home. There's plenty of other things you could do as well, but these are really the big ones I see that make an impact on buyers. Take it for what you will, and if you have questions about it, definitely reach out. Now I have 4 for you here that I would avoid doing. In my experience, I've seen that buyers do not like these things, and it actually stops them from making offers on homes. So my first is converting the garage. A little controversial. I know sometimes people really like converting the garage and using it as extra living space, but people want a garage. They really do. They need a spot for storage. Some people still want to park their car in the garage. They want a spot to just shove their stuff. And when you convert the garage, especially if you convert it from the outside and you take away the garage door, it just doesn't look good, and it does not help with the value of your home. So please do not convert your garage. If you do convert your garage, please do not take away the garage door from the outside. At least make it so that it could be put back. But realize if you convert the garage, you're gonna have a much harder time selling your home here. The next one is an in-ground pool. If you come from a different area in the country, maybe you weren't born and raised here in Clark County, maybe you're used to pools. You were in Arizona, you were in Texas, you were in California, everyone wanted a pool. Well, people don't want pools here. They don't want pools for a couple reasons. One, you can only use it for a small amount of the year. I'm filming this going into summer 2024, and our summer here is, I don't know, 4 months long, and you can use it for a little bit into fall, but other than that, it's too cold. So you'd probably want a heated pool anyways, and a heated pool is gonna be expensive. And then, you know, who's gonna service that pool? We don't really have a lot of in-ground pools here anyways, so there's not a lot of pool servicing companies. Whereas in like California, Arizona, that's a big thing. So you're gonna pay a premium to have someone come and take care of your pool. Only time I'd really consider adding a pool is if you know that's gonna be your forever home, and you're gonna die in that house, you can add a pool. But if not, I might think twice. The third thing I would reconsider adding to your home is extensive and very individualized landscaping. Now, landscaping done right can really make a huge impact, and I recommend that people, you know, plant bushes, plant trees, do things to their home so that in 5 to 10 years, we have some sort of mature landscaping. But I have seen some homes before where they turn the backyard into just an absolute garden and it's totally unusable. Most people, they still want some area for grass or some sort of sitting area, somewhere where the dog can run, somewhere to throw a football. They enjoy trees around the perimeter, they enjoy privacy, but just don't go too overboard with the landscaping. The last thing that I would not do to add value to my home that might actually detract value would be adding an addition in the back of the home. So this is like physically adding on a room or a part to the home, and it's usually gonna eat up some of the backyard. I've been in a couple homes in my day where they did an addition and they were not mindful of their space on the lot, and the addition literally ate up the whole backyard. And it was in maybe a nice neighborhood where we expected some sort of yard. And it just was really wrong feeling. I don't know how to describe it other than it just was off-putting. It didn't feel like home. It felt very utilitarian. Yes, they added space, but there wasn't a yard. They were really close to the neighbors. So just make sure you take into consideration those factors if you're thinking about doing an addition. I hope this list of top 10 ROIs is super helpful to you if you're looking to increase value in your home and maybe sell it the next few years here in Clark County. And if you're looking for a great realtor here in Camas, Vancouver, or Clark County, Washington, myself and my team at Dubyne Realtor Group, we'd love to serve you. So email us, text us, send us a DM, subscribe to the channel, and we can't wait to see you again soon. Thanks.